If you bought a wing mount from me, just stay tuned, watch this video. Science!
Like from the break. Mint.
So happy.
High knees. Look at that. Beautiful. You know what I say to this?
Welcome to the studio. You guys know I make Creighton parts, and I recently just came out with a wing mount. Now, in 2 weeks, 100 of you motherfuckers bought this wing mount. All right? That is so mind-blowing to me. It might not sound like a big number to you, but oh my. Basically, I've had to have these printers running 24/7. Like, I'd get up at 2 in the morning, I'd reset it so it could start printing again. And I had one printer, and I was like, oh my God, I need 2 printers. Crazy. Now, if you own a wing mount, please watch this video because I got something for you, and I think you might be happy about it. So, I've got some feedback from you guys, which has been quite enlightening, I have to say. Like, in a way where it's something I didn't expect. I was just like, I'm making parts for my truck, and I'm having a good time. Because either I can't find it in stock or I just can't find something to buy that has this option that I wanted. So I just made my own stuff. But I was like, let's throw it up for sale. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool if I made some parts and we'll see where it goes. So, a couple people buying some stuff from me, like no big deal. It's just kind of fun. And then 100 people buy this wing mount. Like, you don't understand the scale. Like, it's like 100x out of nowhere. So, but I have more data points. This is now check this out. Some of you guys had to say, I've got a really good experience with the wing mount, okay? And some of you guys had not such a good experience with the wing mount. Either you broke it right away or something happened and you're like, hey, kind of bummed about this. And I was like, well, I'm kind of bummed about that too. Like, what can I do? Well, I got some more feedback. And so through that, I completely changed the materials. We redesigned it so it's 15% thicker. And the print settings, just everything about it, the color options, it's not even the same wing mount, okay? So, I just want to take you through the steps, okay? I've broken my own stuff, just like I break these arms all the time, okay? These are the stock arms off the Creighton. I break these on a regular basis. And if you're an owner, you probably feel my pain.
I broke it. Both arms. Look at that. Oh my God. Look, guys, I'm telling you, I fucking just break the fucking arm.
So much so that I've got literally stock of wing mounts. Like, just these came in the other day. Like, I'll probably run through these in a month. Like, it's crazy, okay? So I stock the stuff up I break all the time. On top of, like, even a chassis, which is not something you break all the time. When you're sending things like 30, 40, 50 feet in the air, you're like, yeah, I mean, if it breaks, I want to keep going. So I almost giggle when things break because it's like, it's part of the fun now, but more fun when you're driving it, less fun when you're breaking stuff. That's just the reality. So the first one, this was the very, very first one that I made and was prototyping. And what happened is just my mistake. And so we got it fixed. Everyone's happy now about this. But basically, when you print, and the way the design works is that the layers actually go this way, right? You can see how it has all the strength right in that direction, okay? But when I printed it, it was like printing this way and then would go this way. And so now this is a weak spot, and then this was breaking all the time. And I was like, I can't have that. So I basically quickly fixed that. It was just like a quick rotation of the print to make sure that it was aligned. It would have that strength. So I sent those out to a few people. It was like 5 or 6 people that needed to get this, so it wasn't like crazy, but I wanted to make sure you had the updated, correct version, because that's what you paid for. So I did that, and then the new model, which I had also been running for a while, was like this, right? So I knew from this one is this wasn't breaking because this was like the right direction, right? This would not break, and then the other one would break. So that's how I knew this was working. And also, I ran it for about 6 or 7 bash sessions, which if you watch my videos, you know I bash it hard. So to me, that was pretty good considering this breaks like almost every time I go out. So I'm like, you know, as a basher, I think that's a reasonable approach. You know, like any like maybe over 3 sessions, if you got it that far for a plastic part, you're winning, depending on what it is. Like the wing mount's taking more abuse than, let's say, the bash guards, because there's no leverage on the bash guards. Like these just wear down. That's all that happens, right? There's no leverage on it, whereas the wing mount has a tremendous amount of leverage. Like if this thing, I don't even know how much it weighs, but they're heavy, and it's falling from 30 feet in the air upside down right on the wing mount. Like that's a lot of leverage. So okay, so back to this. So then, you know, it would sort of, you know, it's 3D printer, and we all know 3D printing stuff isn't like, it's not aluminum or it's not titanium. Like, come on, give me a break. But we want it to perform better. Like, what can we do about this? So we knew that this could be an area, even though that's actually where the strength is. This is where the old one would snap, the stock one, and when I didn't print it correctly. But then we fixed that, so it like almost never snaps here anymore, which is like, hey, the design worked. But then it would sort of delaminate like a little bit, and I was like, I don't know if there's anything that I can do about that. And then it occurred to me, because you guys gave me some really good feedback, it's like, actually, what if I just completely change the material? Because I was using carbon fiber X, and I was like, carbon fiber plastic is basically, should be really strong. I mean, all the branding and marketing was telling me that it was strong, and I was having a pretty good experience with it. You know, I make most of my parts out of it, and I like that. So I was having good experience, but there's like 100 of you guys all over, mostly in the States, a few people in Canada, but mostly in the States, where it's pretty cold here in Canada. So the temperature difference and terrain difference is way different than if you're living in Florida or California, right? So it's like, okay, everyone's driving a little bit differently. They're having different experiences. Let's take that in, make a new one. So obviously you guys know where this is going. But again, if you have a wing mount, stay tuned. I got something for you, trust me. So basically what we've got is the new wing mount. And it's funny that we're talking this much about a wing mount, but now we've got 3 variations. So I was using red because red was the only thing I could actually get this type of high quality material in. But now we've actually got it so that it's really flexible. Okay? So much so that I drove over it with my truck. I threw it at a wall. I've jumped on this thing. I've dropped it on the truck. I've bash tested this thing. It doesn't break. It just doesn't break. So now, are there any downsides? Well, maybe if there's 100 of you guys buying this, well, then maybe we can find out some more information. But basically, the only thing is really just the sheen. You know, it's the exact same design. It's 15% thicker, especially in this area. You can kind of notice it. And there's a few other things, like we beefed this up even. So we had to change the holes a little bit so that just the way the bolts fit in are different now because of the material. So other than the sheen, which, you know, in the right light, it looks pretty sweet, you know, but it is a bit shiny. And it's red, but I think it looks sick on the truck. Like it's not exactly the same red. This is like slightly darker red. This is like a real red, but you know, it looks super sick on the truck with all the accents. So I think that's cool. But of course the black one, which I just got in literally last night and printed this. So, but this is the same thing, you know, it just bends. I could almost bend this in half. I can hit this with a hammer and it is strong. I like that. So what I wanted to tell you guys is, if you bought a wing mount, if you were one of those people who bought it and had a good experience, you know who you are because we've been chatting. I want you to have a good experience. But if you're one of the people who, you took it out and it almost broke right away for some reason, which I don't know how you've been driving it. But like, it doesn't even really matter. It's like, you know what? If you had a bad experience, I want to make sure you have a good experience because you helped me with some feedback. And so I want to help you because then the parts are better. So then even I have a better driving experience and so do you. I feel like I kind of owe you one is kind of how it feels. So if you had a bad experience, I want to send you a new one. So in order to do that, you have to message me on eBay on your original order, or at least so that I can see your eBay tag name, and I will send you a new one. If you could be so kind as to also give me some feedback as far as like, just send me a message of like your experience so that if I can improve on anything, that would be greatly appreciated. But also, if you do have a good experience with the new one, please leave some general feedback for everyone to see and know how good it actually is. Because if other people know it works good, then they'll get it too and they'll have a good experience. So I want you guys to win. I want you to have fun. The whole point of upgrading these things is so that you can go have more fun. Like, you don't spend all this time and money upgrading them just because. You do it because the shit breaks and you want a better one so it doesn't break so you can go drive more. It's literally the only reason. It's the only reason. So I want to be part of the win, part of the fun. So again, you're helping me, I'm helping you. We keep that open. I'm going to take you on the journey a little bit more of like designing these parts, right? Like I spend time on CAD, like literally hours and hours just tweaking and designing and just trying to find something that works and fitment and bash testing and tweaking and print settings and just trying to get these print settings so that it has strength where it needs to and the time, oh my goodness. Sorry to ramble, but so these last ones took about 2 hours to print, maybe 2.5 hours to print, and these new ones, because of the material and the layer adhesion to get the best performance, we're talking 9 hours to print one. One meaning like a set. So it like you get like this together. So one. 9 hours. 9 hours. That means I can only make like maybe two. Like if I wake up in the morning or early or depending on when I time the print, then I can make maybe 2 a day and I have another printer. But I like to have this printer for prototyping. But it gets busy. It gets busy. So again, thank you. Shoot me a message. You know who you guys are if you're having a problem. I just want you guys to have a good time. And then we're prototyping more products. So we've got, again, I've had so many messages for people. Hey, can you make a hood guard? So I'm finally getting to that point where we're going to go bash test this. It's basically because you grind down these all the time and then they fuck up your pins. And when they fuck up your pins, then they don't go in. And then if this is loose, then you break your body. And just like, so this is going to solve a ton. And I want this to bash. I'd rather this break than breaking these all the time or my pins, because this is actually what's doing most of the work to keep your body protected. And also I'm going to make a pin clip system. So replacing the original with like metal and thicker wire and thicker pins, and then suggesting you guys upgrade to the metal body post. So working on some of that, working on a few other things. You guys know what's up. I'm just sharing some just in-depth into what's going on. I want you guys to know that I'm here to support you. I want to be consistent with this stuff. I want to grow. I want to have more products. I want to do cooler stuff, get into aluminum, 70, 75, maybe even titanium. I want shit to be so bash proof that we're all having fun. That is the goal. So we got so many videos coming out soon, so stay tuned. Peace. Sunday.